So once again, do your own research, get out, be a journalist, wear out some shoe leather, as we used to call it, ask difficult questions, kick down doors, check your facts, and take some great photos. I, as a juror, I always prefer to see and hear a simple story that is well told. A simple story, to me, especially in the younger age groups, means that the people who wrote it, created it, researched it, polished it, edited, yes, with some help from a teacher or some other mentor. But when it's a simple story, then it's clear to me that they're likely to have a better, clearer understanding of the issue involved. And nothing turns me off more than seeing examples where young people are merely repeating slogans. Some of these slogans are simple, sometimes misleading, slogans on big topics, some of which are not fully understood even by so-called experts. And it's also clear to us sometimes when in the written work or sometimes even in the video work, people have merely cut and pasted from sources like Wikipedia. Well, that's not really journalism. I'm always going to be more impressed where it's clear that the writers have gone out and done their own research, they've gone outdoors, they've gone to the location, they've conducted their own interviews and formed their own opinions of what it is they're writing about. Furthermore, when people concentrate on simple stories, they're less likely to make mistakes. And in this area of let's say, fake news and spurious journalism, it's more important than ever to be accurate, to check your facts. Don't get caught out on any of these issues by misquoting or massaging the data and so on and so forth. I actually selected this not because I think it's a good story with nice writing skills. However, it is a very important topic. Unfortunately, I'm going to criticize this article, and I hope I'm not going to be too upsetting to anybody who was involved in writing it. But when I sat down to review it and I saw the headline, I thought, oh, this is great. We're going to see some first-hand reporting on what it's like to live in a place like New Delhi when the temperature's up above 40 degrees every day before the monsoon cuts in. We're going to hear something that's up close and personal. And what we got instead here was what I was complaining about earlier, a lot of cut and paste boilerplate and wide and repeated, slogans and facts from various places. It was unfortunately a missed opportunity to really present a first-hand account of here I am in New Delhi or Kolkata or Amritsar. I'm not sure where the dateline was, and it's 3 PM and it's 42 degrees and there is no breeze and this and that and the other. And what are we going to do? Unfortunately, a missed opportunity. It's okay, but it could have been a lot better. So this article caught my attention for a few of the reasons I mentioned in my previous comment, that it was obvious that the writers, and it's one of the younger age groups, had been out and done the research themselves. And it's not a particularly obvious environmental story, but it's obviously something that they got to grips with. And as it says there in the comments, it is well written and it's informative. And it was different. And yes, bats aren't the most pleasant of creatures, especially if you've had one find its way into your house. So this was a story that the writers obviously got to grips with and had a good understanding of, and it was local. It was in their town. And I encourage, if people have access to the links, everybody should have a look at this. It's very well constructed, and obviously in this age group, e-cigarettes unfortunately are all around us. And they are not only, it seems, a health issue, but there's also damage to the environment, not only in the way that they're manufactured, but in the rubbish and the pollution that's left behind. So once again, this was a subject which the writers and the photographer found it very easy to engage with. They see it going on all around them. They didn't bombard the reader with various statistics and data from all around the world. They concentrated on what was local to them. And as it says there in the comment, it does raise awareness about a topic which is universal, even though it was done very locally. And it was very well written. These particular photos, one at a time, I'd just like to say in very, very general terms, and I'm going to risk sounding like a boring, angry old man now, it's never been easier to take a great photo. We no longer have to worry about what kind of film we have in the camera. Did we load it properly? What ASA is it? How do we expose it? How do we focus it? We don't have to wait for it to come back from being processed and printed. All we have to do is pick up the phone and shoot. But that doesn't mean that people should not pay attention to some basic rules of photography. First of all, framing. What's in the frame? How can I before I press the button, how can I improve that frame? How can I myself? Should I stand up? Should I kneel down? Should I turn it this way? Should I turn it that way? Should I wait until something else happens? Should I move something out of the way? Should I get closer? Should I move further away? Very important. I know that a lot of this can be corrected afterwards in a simple program on the computer, but there's nothing like getting it right first time. Secondly, where is the light? Is the light behind me? If the light isn't behind me, am I using it to good effect? And I think actually we've seen that both in the Montenegrin photo and in the photo from India. The light used to very good effect. And lastly, I would like to say a photograph, whether it's in the reportage or whether it's in the campaign category or whatever, if it requires a caption of 50 or 60 words, then it's not a good photo. The photo should speak largely for itself. If you have to laboriously explain to people what it's about, then there's something wrong with the basic photo. It's not good enough. The 19 to 25-year-olds presumably don't have a teacher sitting over their head, urging them to get on with it and meet the deadline and come on, let's do the work. But nevertheless, a lot of effort went into it. They obviously went out to the wetlands. They interviewed a wide variety of stakeholders. They collected data. And once again, a very well presented story, as one would expect from this age group. The photographs are well framed and really bring the message forward.